There's a war going on inside. Just to name a couple, I battle with porn and pride, and a persistent struggle, a reoccurring huddle.
I love stylish backpacks, but even more than that, I love durable and functional backpacks. So today we're going to talk about my brand new everyday carry and camera backpack, the Nomatic Peter McKinnon Everyday 25-liter backpack. Before I got this backpack, I was rocking the Brevity Scout 2. I don't even think it's available anymore, and I got it back in November 2019, so I've been rocking it for almost 4 years now, and I've taken it from everywhere from client shoots to international trips and really just daily driving it as much as possible, and you can tell. So I thought it was about time I got an upgrade. So let's start off with a little tour of the Nomatic backpack and see what it has to offer. Right at the top, you have your typical top loading compartment for quick access to things like your camera or a spot for you to dump your phone, keys, and wallet. It even has a little zippered compartment to help with organization. To access the rest of the backpack, you'll go through the back zipper, and that's gonna open up a big storage space that can be customized for your needs. Now, Nomatic has a few options you can pick from. You can get the divider kit for some Velcro attached dividers, or you can opt for the large or small cubes, which are reinforced cubbies that you can configure with Velcro dividers and easily swap in and out. I went with the 2 small cube option to make organizing and packing a little easier. On the back flap itself, there are 2 mesh pockets that are great for storing small accessories like batteries, filters, SD cards, or cables. Then on the side of the backpack, you have a sleeve compartment that can be used to store a tablet or laptop up to 16 inches, and it just barely fits my monster's 16-inch MacBook Pro. On both sides of the backpack, you have 2 pouches that are magnetically closed when not in use to minimize the profile of the backpack and can be used to store either tripods or water bottles. Overall, my favorite part is how configurable this backpack is. I can load it up with the cubes and fully load it out, ready to shoot content or for some client work, or I can take all the cubes out and take out the dividers and go ahead and load it up with clothes for a weekend trip. Speaking of loading it up, let's do a little what's in my camera bag and show you what I pack typically for when I go out to shoot YouTube videos. My Peak Design travel tripod, my MacBook Pro to edit on the go, the Sony a7S III with a camera cage and a 50mm f1.4 G Master, the Tamron 20-40 f2.8, 2 Sony NPF batteries for my camera monitor, a Nisi VND filter to go with the Nisi C5 matte box, a wireless lav kit, right now it's the Hollyland Lark M1 system, the Godox GM6S monitor, a shock mount for a shotgun microphone, laptop charger for the MacBook Pro, a top handle for the a7S III, 4 extra NPF-Z batteries for Sony cameras, the Comica VM30 shotgun mic, and an HDMI cable for the external monitor. Of course, the Sony ZV-E1, not pictured because I'm using it to record this segment. Oh, and my small rig multi-tool because I don't go anywhere without it. There are a lot of things that I love about this camera bag and why I chose it to be my new everyday carry and work backpack. First of all, whatever backpack I pick has to have a good mixture of weight to durability ratio. I don't want like a super heavy backpack because I'm already loading in like anywhere between 20 to 30 pounds of gear into it, but it does need to be durable enough for all of the kind of daily wear and tear abuse that I kind of put it through. This backpack strikes a really nice balance between the two. While it does weigh twice as much as a JanSport backpack, weighing in at about 3 pounds, it does have a rigid body to it with a lot of padding, which is really important to me because 1, over time, I don't want all the wear and tear to turn this nice looking backpack into like a sad little potato sack, but also it has enough padding so that, you know, if the backpack falls over or I bump it into a wall or something, it protects everything that's inside. Speaking of things being rigid,
phrasing?
I love the fact that the cube inserts themselves are actually really firm and stable, which does 2 things. When I have to take the cubes out and put them back in when I'm organizing, it's nice that they're a solid thing to hold on to and not just like a floppy little tray. And on top of that, when they're in the backpack and I'm moving around and shooting and I'm just getting from point A to point B, everything feels secure in the backpack and doesn't feel like things are just sliding around. The material used for the backpack on both the outside and the inside honestly feel really premium, and more importantly, marketed as weather resistant. This past weekend we were at Folly Beach, South Carolina, and it started to rain on us while we were out there, but fortunately everything inside the camera bag stayed pretty bone dry despite the fact that I had to walk like 15 minutes through rain. Another thing that I love about this backpack is the fact that they designed the bottom of the backpack to be flat and stiff, so when you set down the backpack, even when it's fully loaded and maybe the weight's not fully perfectly balanced, it doesn't fall over in either direction, it just wants to sit upright, which is nice because when I'm traveling, when I'm at airports, when I'm just between moments during a shoot and I want to put the camera bag down because I need to either get something out of it or I need to do something like set up a gimbal, I don't have to then like use one leg to support the backpack from falling over, mostly because I don't want my camera bag to fall into like dirt and get really dirty, but also I don't want the chance of it falling over and maybe damaging something inside. The padding on the back of the backpack and also on the straps are actually also really comfortable, which is pretty important. Like I said, I load 20 to 30 pounds of equipment into my backpack. Sometimes I'm wearing it for like hours on end, and when you have bad padding on a backpack, it gets really uncomfy really fast. So this is a super important point to me, and fortunately this backpack does have great padding. And on the note of configurability, the shelf or divider that separates the top compartment from the bottom compartment is also removable. So if you need to, let's say you're going out for a weekend trip and you just need to pack clothes, you can also remove that out and just load up the backpack fully. Bonus points for the fact that that shelf is also magnetically attached. Speaking of magnets, you guys know I love magnets, and I love the fact that the water bottle holders, the side pouches, are secured via magnets when they're not in use. So it really creates a nice, slim, sleek profile. Because on a normal backpack, those pouches are usually elastic bands, and either the mesh on the pouch eventually, stretches out from loading and unloading giant water bottles or giant tripods. Over time, it just looks a little ugly and it looks a little saggy. This is all avoided by the fact that these side panels are non-stretchable material and they kind of just clasp on through the magnets when you're not using them. But here's the part where we get to the things I hate about this backpack. This backpack starts at $299, and depending on how you configure it, like with the 2 small cube setup, can go up to $389. And you see how the tripod in the pouch on the side is strapped in at the top? That strap does not come with your backpack. Instead, you have to buy it for $20. I'm sorry, but that's just highway robbery. Then the next thing that I dislike is, yes, I understand, I'm not out of touch. $300 to $400 for a camera backpack is kind of a lot of money. There are a ton of other camera bags out there that also offer a ton of premium features that include the camera strap. Sorry. And there are a bunch of budget options out there that might not look as nice, might not be made of the best materials, but also get the job done. Personally, I am the type of person that really cares about what my camera bag looks like. That's on me, but I can still acknowledge the fact that it's a really high price tag. Lastly, my biggest concern is gonna be about flying with the backpack. Even with it empty and kind of compressed, the depth is around like 22 inches, and then with it fully loaded, it's closer to like 24 to 26 inches. So there is definitely no chance that I can slide it underneath an airplane seat. So unfortunately, I think the days of me taking on my camera bag as my personal item are finally over. Overall though, I think this camera bag is honestly a 10 out of 10, minus a point or two for the negatives I listed if that is something that bothers you, but otherwise it's high capacity, it looks amazing, it's really well padded, it's weather resistant, and it sits upright when you place it down on the ground. I think the 25-liter backpack is a strong contender if you're looking for a new camera bag or an everyday carry backpack. Plus, like, who doesn't want to rock the Peter McKinnon pirate flag? It's like low-key super dope. If you're interested in checking out the backpack, links will be in the description down below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and get subscribed and get notified if you want to see more videos from me. And if you haven't seen yet, my last video was on how I color grade S-Log3 footage. It was one of my first kind of like video editing tutorials I've ever made, so make sure to check that out if that interests you. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.